While these two might have struggled to stay prominent on the national stage, the Cy-Hawk Trophy always carries paramount importance.
And it means so much to the fans. Been to these games a lot of times. The energy is through the roof, and they both want to destroy each other.
And what's interesting about this rivalry game is it sets the tone for both programs. They generally play early in the year, and for the winner, it can really catapult you, and the loser's got to pick up the pieces.
This rivalry is so important to the people of this state, and it dates back to 1894, guys.
It goes back a long way, and when you watch the product on the field every year, it's usually low scoring, but it's a lot of physical, tough people on the field.
You know, people in Iowa, they just love football, and this is a rivalry game that really hits home for so many. Regardless of which side of the fence you're on in this game, Iowa or Iowa State, it means so much.
Just textbook execution on the fake field goal, and trickeration equals touchdown.
And we saw them practicing this throughout the week, but when are you going to call it? Because you got to have the onions to call it in a big moment. They call it, they convert. What a call by the offense.
You know, the worst thing that can happen to return men is muffing punts, fumbling it, putting on the ground, and he did it right there. He's very lucky he was able to jump on his own fumble.
Last time these two met, Iowa things and won a close one.
Man, they do that so often in this series. They just find a way, even if they're trailing, to win the ball game, and Iowa State's got to figure that puzzle out.
Iowa doing Iowa things. Defensively, they made the plays they needed to make in that game, and they're going to have to do that again in this one. This quarterback is thinking to himself, I need to get an NIL deal at some restaurant so I can take my offensive line out and feed them more, because I don't think they like me very much right now. I've been sacked 6 times in this game. It's time to get that new NIL deal paycheck. Well, that's a good omen if you're this offense, obviously. It's early in the game. You've got the lead, and the ball's bouncing their way. Really nice catch there, David, off the deflection.
A good early omen for sure for this offense. Like when you're getting deflections and you're catching those, that's a good start to this ball game. Let's get some positive juices flowing, because those are breaks that sometimes turn into interceptions, but early in this game, it turns into a big catch.
Both of you guys played in this rivalry. Jesse, what's your most impactful memory?
My senior year, 1st and 1 on the goal line, and the Bulldogs had Marcus Stroud and Richard Seymour, 2 first-round picks at D-tackle. Coach Spurrier called Red Snoopy, which was a quarterback sneak. I didn't get it. He called it again on 2nd down. I didn't get it. Called it again on 3rd down. Didn't get it. On 4th down, he subbed our running back, who came in the huddle and says, Red Snoopy, jump over the top, idiot. And we scored a touchdown.
That is great. That is phenomenal.
Last time these two met, the big dogs ate as Georgia rolled easily.
And taking care of business in a rivalry game like they did, it means a lot. The bragging rights are even better. I can talk about stomping you out. Speaking of stomp, 2007, Mark Richt getting the team to run on the field, celebrate. Those are the moments that you think about in this series that mean so much.
Yeah, we talked to the Gator coaching staff. They said it felt like Herschel Walker was back toting the rock for the Bulldogs. I mean, they had no answer for Georgia's running game a season ago. And defensively, the Gators know they've got to be a lot more physical in this one.
These two first met back in 1915, and for much of their histories, they've been sleeping giants. But man, when they wake up, do they wake up?
Well, two programs, obviously, with a lot of history and a lot of great players in the past. But I feel like because of the recent success of both Georgia and Florida in the last couple of decades, this is a game every year that everybody, not just in the SEC, but I think around the country, have circled because of what this game means.
It's so cool when you're a fan and you've played in this game like me and Jesse both have. You can go back to a singular moment like Run, Lindsey, Run in 1980, which was a 3rd and long on their own 7 that they converted Georgia to go on to win a national title. Big games decided by big moments that live forever. What a break by the returner. You know, he's looking to try to do some damage and make some people miss and make a big play, and he coughed that puppy up. How fortunate is he to fall back on that football?
The whole perception of how successful your season is really depends on how you handle this game, how you handle Bedlam.
Man, Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, 2 teams that simply do not like each other. The emotion always runs so high, and historically, David, this has been a game that has massive conference implications.
Well, and you think about the state of Oklahoma, all the fans, the division amongst each other, so much juice coming into this game. Got to handle the nerves well and start fast.
Oklahoma has dominated this rivalry, guys, so much so that it almost seems like just a relief to the Sooners when they win.
Up to this point, Reese, no doubt, Oklahoma, they have owned this series against their in-state rival. But, David, you know, in rivalry games, you got to throw the records out the window because of the emotion that's played on game day.
So much emotion, so much hatred. You throw it out because, listen, you got nothing to lose. Everybody expects Oklahoma to win this game every year. So if I'm the Cowboys, I can take chances, try to make plays, try to make something good happen early.
Hey, we've seen this movie before. Lights, camera, action, just like Marquise Hollywood Brown, who went for 265 in one game.
And every year, the numbers change, the names change, but the Sooners, they've got burners on the outside. They make big plays. They've always got a fun, fast offense, and this guy's just fitting right in line.
Channeling their inner Mad Hatter, pulling out the fake punt. Defense didn't have a clue it was coming, and they get the touchdown.
And I think you call this play when you know what the defense is going to do and you try to get the first down, but even better, get the bigger play. The punter coming through with a great throw, scoring a long touchdown. Beautiful job. Nice fake punt.
Nothing electrifies a stadium quite like a return for a touchdown.
It's always so exciting because you don't see them very often. You got to go so many yards, 80, 90 yards at a time. What a great job by the returners, showing the speed, providing the electricity. There's a reason they're all jacked up, and it's because of that awesome kickoff return.
Hoping for another chapter in this tremendous rivalry, Kirk. They've been playing since 1900.
Yeah, that's really what makes college football what it is. And I think all the concern with the realignment was we would potentially lose games like this. It's great to see Texas and OU still be playing for many years to come.
Well, frankly, Kirk, we hope for games that are a little bit more suspenseful. This one got out of hand early, ended up being a rout.
That's putting it nicely, Chris, right? This was a complete blowout, a solid performance in all areas by this team. Their coaches should be proud of how they looked out there today.
And that is going to wrap it up. We enjoyed this one here. For Kirk Herbstreit, I'm Chris Fowler, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.
The build-up with all of the pranks and the hijinks sometimes seems almost as big as the big game itself. Stanford and Cal ready to square off for the Axe.
And memories of football players running down the field, running into band members at the end of crazy games. There have been some unbelievable moments in this great rivalry, and hopefully we're in for another great one today.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the most iconic moments in college football history. Now these guys get an opportunity to make their moments in this big rivalry game.
There's always one thing sure to get the juices flowing for the Cardinal and the sturdy Golden Bears, and that's anything to do with the Axe, guys.
Yeah, and the trophy games are fun. It's not a real axe, by the way. It's kind of a trophy with an axe on it. But this means something to them. It means something to the fans. All the pranks, all the history behind it, Palmer.
Yeah, it's really actually more of a plaque, which is interesting. But regardless, it doesn't matter what the records are between these two teams, Stanford and Cal. It comes down to this game. This is bragging rights, not just today, but for the rest of the year.
Last time these two bitter rivals got together, there was joy in Strawberry Canyon as Cal won a close one.
And that win really propelled Cal for the rest of the season. It was a momentum builder for them, and it just sort of stumbled Stanford. They had a hard time turning the page. This is one of those games, David, where if you lose it, you risk getting beat twice because it's hard to come back from.
So you're saying it's almost like that axe chopped down the Stanford tree last year and just ruined the season? That's what you're saying? I mean, that's what rivalry games do. They deflate you sometimes, and they change the trajectory of your season, and especially with the fans.
This rivalry dates back to 1892, a mere 90 years before perhaps the most memorable play in college football history as Cal ran through the band on the field.
And that's a play they'll be talking about for another 250 years, no doubt. It's sort of synonymous with this rivalry between Cal and Stanford, and you never know any given year there's going to be a play that's just going to jump out at you, David, something you'll hold on to.
And I think one of the cool nuggets about this series, the big game in 1982, the band running on the field, the one y'all referenced, every year whoever has the Axe trophy, they change the score of that game. That's how petty this rivalry is. We just change history, change scores. I love it. They got more sacks than a grocery store. Goodness gracious, time and time again, getting to the quarterback, getting him on the ground. This defense having their way.
This rivalry's a throwback. Aren't many left like this where the stadium's divided right down the middle.
So much tremendous history between these two teams. And David, it just always seems in this game, you throw out the stats, you throw out the standings, you throw out the records, and this is just a different energy when we see these teams play.
It's because you bring in the hatred. They don't like each other. The fan bases don't like each other. Texas, Oklahoma, it always means a lot.
A great Oklahoma running attack will bring a tear to the Boomer Sooner Nation eye, thinking of guys like Billy Sims.
And where it all started was always the ground game and the toughness. You never question that. In Oklahoma, they got to get to that. They got to be that. They got to live that if they really want to build on what they used to be and bring that tradition and build some of that tradition in the SEC.
This game always brings out the best in both teams, but today, Jesse, Texas' best was a little better.
And this is a win for them that's going to help their recruiting. Coaches are going to get paid for. But most importantly, David, Texas gets bragging rights for another whole year.
A whole year of bragging and a whole year of telling OU fans, you're not as good as us. You can throw up the hook 'em horns. You can do it with pride. A lot on the line every year in the Red River rivalry.
It may not be a crown, but it's a hat, and it is golden. In this latest edition of the Red River rivalry, it goes to Texas. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. Until next time, that'll do it for this edition of EA Sports College Football.